Good evening. I'm Anthony McConaughey with M12 Cigars, and this is my first review on this channel. My first cigar I'm going to review is the CAO La Traviata Maduro Churchill size cigar. For those who have watched this channel, thank you. I appreciate it. This channel I made for you guys. I love reviewing cigars and I love helping my friends pick out cigars. I really enjoy the process of rating a cigar and helping people to buy their first cigars. So, without further ado, the CAO La Traviata Churchill size Maduro cigar. Okay? So, I'm showing you the bands right now because your odds are you're going to remember the band before you remember the name. So, whenever you go to your local tobacco store, cigar store, and you want to pick out a cigar and you saw this review and you're like, oh, I want to try it, that's what the band looks like. Or you can just ask them, hey, for the CAO La Traviata. The CAO La Traviata is their second newest line of cigars that they just came out with. Their newest one is the Flathead cigar, box press cigar. I'll explain that in another video. So let's get down to the review. Basically, for my reviews, it's a very simple point system. 15 points for appearance, 15 points for flavor, 35 points for smoking characteristics, and 35 points for the overall experience. So, here we go. For appearance, I gave it 13 out of 15 points. I'm picky, so when it comes to the appearance, I only give it 15 points because that's not going to judge your whole cigar. Now, obviously, when you see a cigar, if it's cracked at the wrapper or it just looks very uneven and it's not a smooth surface, you're less likely to buy it. So I do look at the cigar when I pick it up. I'll look at it, and if it just looks like garbage, I assume it's going to be garbage. That's just the way we're wired, you know. When you go to a car dealership and you see the door is looks like someone smashed into it or hit it with a sledgehammer, I mean, you're not going to buy the car even if it has your dream engine in it. If the door's someone took a sledgehammer to it or a jackhammer to it, you're not going to get it. It wasn't a pretty wrapper, however, overall it was very smooth, no soft spots in the cigar at all. So other than the pretty wrapper, or other than the not pretty wrapper, it was a fairly smooth looking cigar. I dinged it 2 points, so I gave it 13 out of 15 points. For flavor, you'll see a lot of people, or you'll hear a lot of cigar reviews out there, they'll throw in words like vegetal, earthy, chocolate, vanilla. To me, tobacco tastes like tobacco. When you smoke a cigar, to me it's just going to taste like tobacco. For those out there who have a pretty sensitive tongue and have, well reformed taste buds, you might pick up on nuances of flavors like that, and that's okay. As far as my reviews go with flavor, I'm talking about that aftertaste. When you take a draw out of your cigar and you just have this really bad aftertaste and you immediately have to go for water, not because your tongue's getting warm, but because you just want to get that taste out of your mouth, that's what I'm basing this off of. It had a very favorable taste. The aftertaste was weak. As soon as I smoked it and as soon as I let that smoke out, the taste was with it. I got a little hint of it afterwards, but like I said, it wasn't disgusting. I was okay with the flavor, so I gave it 15 points out of 15 points there. For me, the next category to me is the most important category, the smoking characteristics. The smoking characteristics are what are going to get you through the cigar. If you have a cigar that's got a really tight draw or a really loose draw, you're not going to finish it. I had a friend tonight have a cigar and it had too tight of a draw, and he put it out halfway through just because he was tired of dealing with it. Me, I'm a trooper. I'll try to push through it, but if it's really bad, I'll just put it down, and then you feel like you wasted your money. So I'm going to try and help you get your money's worth by telling you little things like this that you might not expect when you walk in and purchase it. So for smoking characteristics, the draw was slightly on the tight side. I prefer a little bit looser of a draw, so you have that. I prefer a thick cloud of smoke. This had a very medium cloud of smoke. You can tell the difference between cigarette smoke and cigar smoke. The CAO had a very cigar smoke characteristic, but I prefer a heavier plume of smoke. So that's for the smoke. It got a bit uneven towards the end. Throughout the burn, throughout my smoking process, it stayed pretty much even all the way through. When I'm talking about even and uneven burning, I'm saying like right here, this is an example of an uneven burn. You see how it's right like that, and then the rest of it stays on the line. Throughout the whole cigar, it stayed pretty much like this all the way through. Towards the end, as you can tell, I put it out. I'm done with it. It got a little uneven. But other than that, it was a consistent burn throughout. I like the fact that it had a very soft burn too. When you got it hot, when you got the cigar real hot, the cherry was glowing red, and it didn't burn your tongue. And I really like that in a cigar. You'll tend to find that tongue bite when you have a loose draw cigar. It just, you'll barely take a puff on it, and it's just gonna immediately go bright red, and it's gonna burn your tongue. So after all that, I gave it 30 out of 35 points. I'm picky. I mean, when it comes to the smoke output, if it doesn't put out a lot of smoke, I mean, to me, I don't like that at all. I don't prefer that. And being on the slightly tight side, I had to take a couple puffs to get a good plume of smoke. That bothers me a little bit. So I did ding it. I gave it 30 out of 35 points. For my overall experience, though, I did enjoy the cigar. I thought it was a very good cigar. It's something I would recommend to somebody who's been smoking for a little while, not to a beginner, but someone who's been smoking for a while. You know, that's a good smoke. And for those who haven't had this before and do smoke a lot, the CAO La Traviata Maduro is a good cigar to start out with, or a good cigar to pick up. It was an easy smoke. It was enjoyable throughout, and I prefer the ash of a cigar to be sturdy. If it's just powder and drops on your lap all the time, or you move it and flakes are going everywhere, that's just not cool. So the overall experience for the cigar, I gave it 35 out of 35. My end score for the cigar is a 93 out of 100. I enjoyed that cigar. I had to relight it once. I had to touch it up once. So I mean, there was barely any stoppage in the cigar smoking process that I did. For any more information that you want, you can go to CAO's website. They tell you the specs of your cigar, basically what's in what the tobacco leaf was for the wrapper, for the binder, and for the filler. For those who are watching this, thank you for watching. Please leave your comment at the bottom of the screen there where it says comment here. Please do. If you like me or you like my channel, please subscribe. I would like to have a couple subscribers. So far I have 30 views. That's the max. That's all I've had. The max I've had is 30 reviews on one of my videos. I was very proud of that. Thank you all for watching. I'm Anthony McConaughey with M12 Cigars. Have a good smoke.